Hello, this is the third addition to my series on the principles of the advanced French variation, mainly on the black side. I wanted to go through a game of mine. I just played it on a free internet chess server. I just wanted to make an example, and I thought, what better than describe a game of mine and go through my thoughts on that game. So e4 by white, e6, d4, d5, e5, c5, and c3 by white. Now I like to always play knight c6 first, so I did. But first, white replied with the customary knight f3, the best move. And I played bishop d7. This is the move I like to play. White continued with bishop d3. Now you can play it after bishop d7, and should I want to play the gambit lines with queen b6, I could do so to win the d4 pawn, but typically you need to know those lines quite well. I like to play those lines with black side. I don't think they are a problem, but this particular time I wanted to make a point and play the normal lines, so to speak. So I decided on playing just queen c7 here, because this will lead to the normal lines where I castle queens, well, normal to me, to castle queenside and go with the kingside attack. Okay, so I played queen c7, white castle kingside, and I continued with f6. So as you see, my position is flowing forwards quite naturally. I have played the moves that I said I will play, c5 and f6, both attacking white center, overextended white center, I might add, and queen attacking also e5, knight attacking e5, so I have everything attacking the center. White on his side has developed well and is ready to attack, so I need to be careful not to open the center too much. Okay, white exchanges on f6, and I take back the g pawn. Some people might find this a little bit dangerous because my king is still in center. I'm opening this diagonal, but in this particular position I was not afraid. There might be some tricks involving knight g5, but I was confident that I can escape with my king if such tricks might occur. Okay. White continued with rook e1, and I castled on the queen side. White took on c5 now. Now in this position, why does white take on c5 after I have castled? I told you in the first video, white typically doesn't want to take on c5. Now he takes on c5 because he wants to play b4, most likely, and he doesn't want me to play c4 to lock the queen side. So he wants to keep this side open. That's why he takes on c5. That's very logical in a sense. I take back with the bishop. He plays bishop e3. Now I have a choice. Do I want to take on e3? And I felt no. Why? Because I felt the bishop is more useful here. I played bishop d6, attacking his king. I felt this is more natural for me, and his bishop is not so great at the moment. He continues very aggressively actually. Knight d4, not developing his other knight but moving this again. Maybe this is one of the causes of his problems in the game. No, sorry. Take back. He played h3 first. I played knight g7. He wanted to protect, of course, h2 point first, and then he plays knight d4. Now, the reason I played knight g7 is because the knight doesn't have any other good move. You can't develop it on h6 now, and I wanted to develop it as quickly as possible to get rooks on the g file attacking on g2. Now that he's played h3, actually, he's made further weakness. Now g3 will be a very weak move to, well, weaker, because I might make a piece sacrifice there, and I'm straight at his king. Okay, now he plays knight d4. and I don't want to exchange there, but play knight e5. Now, one of the points is that if he wants to play knight b5 to attack me, I will get rid of my bad French bishop, which in this position is not so bad, actually, but I don't mind getting rid of it. He continues bishop f4, which I believe is a mistake, because now I get rid of his light square bishop, and after that I think I'm at least fine. So in this particular position I accept losing my dark square bishop because I can get rid of his light square bishop. I think it's an important defensive piece, an attacking piece, so I think my game is just so much easier after this move. He doesn't take back immediately, of course, but takes his opportunity to take on d6. I take back, and he takes my knight. Queen takes d3. And now I'm perfectly happy playing e5, having a strong center, moving center, having the open g file. I think I have all the trumps here. But if you notice, I played quite naturally in this opening, and still black has a better position. Maybe white should have played a little bit more aggressively. White continues with knight b5, and I'm more than happy to take it away. Takes back. And this position, as it was a very fast game, I decided immediately on queen b6, queen c6. Why? Because I feel that the exchange of queens will be bad for him. Then I have 4 pawns in the center moving forward. I have the g file. I have the knight better developed than he does, and I even have the open b file at some point as an option for me. So I think I have all the trumps. He continues with queen b4, and I play knight g6. Now, as you might notice, as I told in one game, my knight might be going towards f4. This is exactly what happens in this game. He continues with knight d2, finally developing the knight on move 20. Notice, very late. I play rook 8 to g8. You might notice that my position is playing itself. I'm playing on the g file. The half open g file, attacking his king. There are not so many moves that I can actually even consider here. I might consider rook d7, doubling that way, but rook 8 to g8 actually attack makes a threat immediately of knight f4, which is actually a fork. If you'll notice, it's forking both g2 and it's forking the square d3, and that is a fork because it attacks the queen and rook, and attacking here, of course, I will get attack directly to the king, and if this g2 falls, his king side has fallen apart. Okay, he plays knight f1, and which is a mistake, obviously. Knight f4, I'm winning now. Knight g3 to defend, but this is actually creating another problem, which I capitalize on. Knight g3, winning the exchange. He plays, I think he tries to play some trick with queen e7, rook d7. He must retreat with the queen. Queen b6. This is actually better than taking the exchange. Now I'm attacking f2 with the knight and the queen. I'm attacking his rook, and another detail that might not be clear is that this pawn is now pinned to the king and the knight is not defended, so I'm attacking the knight as well. And he actually makes the mistake of playing rook e2, and I take the knight. And he resigns. I think this was quite a simple game, but quite clear how Black's game just played itself. He got the strong moving center. I got to play e5. The center is quite well supported. It has many options. It can go forward at some point. The half open g file worked very well for me, and my knight moving e7, g6 to f4 was very strong piece. So that's about that game.